There we go. Hi, I'm Alan Smith. Welcome to the Garden Home. You know, one of my favorite quotes goes like this: no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. And something can be large or something can be small. You can affect lives with just the simplest gesture. So in today's show, I thought we would check out some places and people who are doing something to make a difference in this world. From growing food for the homeless, encouraging kids to garden, making your own compost, to experimenting with new plant varieties in a natural way. And of course, a subject that's near and dear to my heart, chickens. It's going to be a great show with lots of interesting people. So thanks for joining me here on the Garden Home. All right, guys, what's next?
Get this board up.
All right.
John, what's the dimension? Might be 140 and 3/8.
There we go. Got another one here. All right, Charlie, here we go. We're out building a house for Habitat for Humanity. They've got a great volunteer crew. I want you to meet some of them.
My name is Don Smith. I'm a member of the Over the Hill gang, and almost all of our people are retired from a lot of different walks of life. We come out here on Tuesdays and Thursdays to build houses for Habitat for Humanity, and primarily we're a framing crew.
I turned 87 last December. Oldest one in the bunch. I'm the cut man. I cut lumber. I work on the siding also. There's a great bunch of people over here. They watch out for me.
The camaraderie is wonderful. That's one of the fine things about it, and we appreciate the fact that we're helping people.
Well, first, it's fun, so people want to come out and volunteer with us because it's a good time. Saturday, we have a whole bunch of people out, and in a lot of cases, they don't have any idea, and we have to teach them how to do things.
How is this going to impact your life, having this house here in this neighborhood?
This is a dream come true for me. I'm a single mother. I've had some struggles in my life, and I really am not in a position to buy a new home.
Right.
This has been such a blessing for me. My kid's gonna have her own backyard. You know, we're gonna have things that we haven't had before, and just to be able to live life like a normal human being again, it will be so amazing.
This house will price for about $100,000 when we get done with it, and you can end up paying $350 a month for it. That's a smoking deal. And the reason is, it's 0% interest. So it's people in need, hard-working people that need a hand up, not a handout.
We get to come out and work with them, basically, and I've learned a lot along the way. My dad's participating quite a bit. It's really a fun experience.
Well, you've got a crew of about 8 people today out here working on it.
At least.
These gentlemen seem to know what they're doing.
Absolutely. They've done quite a few of these, I think. And, you know, behind each one of these people is a heart that's doing this because they want to, not because they're getting a paycheck.
We've talked to some of the people who've wanted these houses and moved into them, and they were living crowded in small places, or children were afraid to go outside because of the neighborhoods they were living in. They have just found a much better life.
I get a 3-bedroom home, 2 bathrooms, plenty of space for just the 2 of us, and you know, if there were more, there's enough room to add in, you know, if we need to.
Sure, and a generous backyard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a carport.
Yes.
You know, I've actually got a few ideas for the front yard if you'd like to hear about them.
That would be amazing.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
When you can do something for your neighbors and for your community, it's rewarding, and you meet a lot of nice people.
Gosh, it's amazing. You've gotten a lot accomplished.
Thank you.
Tremendous. You know, Aaron, when you started, did you have any idea it was going to grow to this so quickly when you started with, well, this van?
We really had no idea. Honestly, when we started, we didn't know that we were even going to get anywhere near gardening, urban farming, whatever this is that we're doing.
And here you are.
Here we are. We started with this ugly old van, just taking supplies out to homeless, unsheltered homeless.
Well, you know, I don't think a lot of us really understand the state of homelessness in this country.
Yeah, we don't. It's really not what it used to be. It's not just your guy at university in 430 or wherever holding a sign.
Some cross section of a street.
It's you know, we've found everything from full-time college students to pregnant women to you know, me and you out there.
Sure,
you know?
Sure.
And so the more we got out there and the more we started meeting people and seeing the way that they were living and the way that they were, you know, getting their food and things like that, it became very apparent that there had to be a better way for people who are struggling to have some decent food to eat.
Right.
And so we started this with the intention of giving them that opportunity, you know, and also the dignity that comes with that.
Right.
You know?
So not only do these people have an opportunity to have nutritious food that's locally grown, beautifully grown, but also they have an opportunity to participate in the growing and which I think, to your point, helps self-esteem.
They do, and they love it. They love getting out here. They love, you know, just being a part of something that's bigger than them.
Sure.
Helping to grow food that,
Right.
you know, for their friends on the streets as well.
Feel
So,
connected.
Absolutely.
So Aaron, do you have volunteers out here every day?
We do. We get a lot of groups, a lot of volunteer groups on the weekends.
Right.
During the week, we have a lot of our participants from the homeless community that are able to come out.
Sure.
We've got a lot of regulars, and then sometimes we'll have some that'll come out if they have different skill sets or whatever.
So in a way, this is really becoming a place for people to learn, you know, a skill set, but also it's a way to sort of inspire groups. You said you had church groups come out with youth groups and so forth.
We do. We get a lot. About a month ago, we had about 200 students out here. We try and incorporate as much educational type stuff as we can.
Absolutely. Well, crazy about your chicken house over here.
Well, you should be. When we started it, we actually got a lot of our ideas off of one of your videos.
Well,
so.
it looks kind of familiar, the chicken trailer. That's
I like
good.
to call it the Coupe de Ville.
Coupe de Ville.
The chickens, we've had to just kind of get them as we can and, and just build up as we can.
What
so.
size flock are you wanting to create here?
Our goal is 150 laying hens.
That'll be a lot of eggs.
I can't wait for those either.
Well, I'd be happy to share some chickens with you to help add to your flock.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, you
That'd
see
be
you
great.
come on up. Well, this is very inspiring what you're doing. Thanks for spending the time with me today.
Thanks for coming out and seeing it. It's
Yeah,
great.
you bet. Keep it up. Good work. I love anything that encourages kids to garden. So when the Seed Keepers, Carol and Carrie, told me about their Seed Keeper project, I was hooked. Take a look.
Raise your hand if you love the garden. I'm raising it too.
When we established our business, we said the one thing we're going to do is give back. That was one of the most important things that we wanted to do with our business. And so we were inspired by an individual who we saw in our own hometown who was highlighting a school garden. And we thought, that's our purpose.
So we awarded your garden here the Seedkeeper Project winner for Arkansas. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
The whole state.
Often we don't get to visit the schools or the gardens that we award, and this is just cool.
It's inspirational.
I feel like kids here.
So we have some little prizes here for you. These are rulers, which you know are very important when you garden, right? Seed depth, planting width, but we are so proud of what you're doing. We think that this is so important in our lives. Do you think it's important to learn how to garden?
Specifically, this program is set up to tie into their science curriculum. So We get pre-K through 8th grade to come out here once a month. There's probably about 50 classes a month that come through here, and whatever they're doing in their science curriculum, we try to tie it in. So we talk about the animals, vertebrates, invertebrates, cold-blooded, warm-blooded, you know, from pre-K through 8th grade. So it's a huge wide spectrum.
It's a fun place that you can be outside and grow things and be proud of yourself for what you've grown.
I like to watch the things grow. Like it starts out as a little bitty seed and then it grows into something beautiful.
We are harvesting carrots fresh out of the garden.
Oh, I got one! I got one!
See? These are delicious, actually.
Is it good?
Rat-tail radish.
They get to eat food, and then it's usually things that most of these city kids haven't had before. It kind of opens their mind to it, and they want to come back out when school's not in progress and help grow it and take it home and eat it.
I would love to see a school garden at the center of school curriculum. I think everything could spring from it.
Appreciate the earth and be thankful for all of these fruits and vegetables.
There's so many ways you can make a difference. Some have effects that are immediate, while others take a little more time to germinate. You know, Bill, when you mention the word strawberry, you really get people's attention. People love strawberries.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we concentrated on doing some work with strawberries, especially looking for better flavored strawberries with a higher sugar content and with a good sugar acid balance. So our work here at the New Jersey Ag Experiment Station is really concentrating on berries that taste great. You know, these berries aren't for shipping, they're for your backyard, and they're for local small farmers to be able to grow the very best strawberries that they can and not use a lot of pesticides, you know, to try to have something that stays healthy.
Well, Bill, I see about 5 long rows of strawberries out here, and how many different varieties are you trialing?
We're actually testing 10 different varieties that we've had really good luck with, and this is towards the end of our first set of trials. We do a taste test analysis where we'll bring in students and colleagues and everyone around, and they get a chance
that's
to...
That's a popular exercise.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to do, you know. But they've got to test the strawberries and then give us feedback on everything from the sugar to the overall flavor to the acid balance. And the acid balance is just as important as the sugar because that gives you that tartness along with the sweetness, which actually gives you the ideal strawberry.
So here's a berry. That's a nice looking berry there.
Now, do you notice something different about that berry? It's not the usual shape of a berry.
No, it's more like a Christmas light bulb.
Yeah. Very high in the sugar content, but also because of the way, the architecture of the plant and the way that it sets its berries out, it actually has better disease resistance.
Oh, yeah.
And we're finding that this may work on organic farms and even for home gardeners. And it tends to keep well too, but the sugar content on that is just amazing.
Let me try it. Wow. That is one sweet berry.
You'll notice too the open architecture of the plant comes out and it's open more. So that allows,
sun in there to
allows the sun to come in and allows better air circulation so you get better control of disease problems.
Excellent. You know, Bill, Americans are crazy about their lawns. I once read that there are enough lawns in America, if you put them all together, you'd have an area the size of Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of lawns out there. But the one thing that people do is they tend to put too much fertilizer down and they select grasses that require high maintenance. So what we're trying to do in this study is show them that if they select good genetics, for instance, this variety, Oxford Hard Fescue, we've had this out here for 7 years along with these other varieties.
7 years?
And you can see that there's very few weeds in here. We've never used an herbicide out here.
Really?
And there's very little fertilizer that's been used. We recycle the grass clippings, which is really what you need to do. You need to mow at a height of 3 inches. And by doing that, you're recycling 33% of the nitrogen right back into the turf grass. You end up with a healthy turf grass. And the nice thing about all these grasses that you see here, especially the ones that are healthy, they have endophytes in them. Endophytes are actually beneficial fungi that help the turf to fight off surface feeding insects. So between having a nice dense turf like you have here, nice deep root systems that you normally have with hard fescues and turf type tall fescues, you actually get a system that's self-sustainable, requires less nitrogen input, requires less fertilizer, requires less water.
Less mowing.
Less mowing. So you've got a system that's ideal, and if you want a healthy turf grass and you don't want all those pesticides, this really is what you want to look at. You want to look at low maintenance turf grass varieties. And there are types for every state in the country. You just got to do a little bit of searching.
Well, Bill, I really appreciate you taking the time to show me just a few of the things that you've got going on here. There's just some new and exciting stuff going on.
Thank you very much for coming out and taking a look at all of our research. Really appreciate you coming out.
Real pleasure. Here's a way to do something good for you, your plants, and the environment. Composting.
My name is James R. Willits, and we're out on Faulkner Lake Road, North Little Rock, Arkansas, and the facility is called American Composting. It's been told to me that you can harvest material out of a landfill like an old newspaper and still read it. So it ought to tell you, the shelf life going into a landfill is probably pretty lengthy. In the reverse composting, we're looking at about a 6 months operation. We recycle anything that's biodegradable. Grass clippings, brush, we take things all the way up into large diameter trees, tree stumps, and things of this nature. And then of course, easy stuff to compost is food waste and other organic waste streams. The raw materials are coming in by different cities, landscapers, nursery people that are cleaning up yards, lawn maintenance people. One large grinder will take this debris, all sizes debris, and take a whole tree and grind it up, and behind us is the end product of after grinding. And it's deep stacked, waiting to go into windrows, and it's also waiting to be mixed with other organic waste streams. We're digging into the pile, I'm breaking it out. The activity is microbes breaking down the cellulose or organic waste streams, temperatures of thermophilic level, which is above 131 degrees Fahrenheit. If you can, you probably can start seeing steam. This is getting so hot that I can't hold it by hand. And the main thing I want to show you, there's fungus actually attacking the cellulose. Not only do we have microbial activity, but we have fungus actually trying to eat into the cellulose wood. We're adding a lot of air, but a lot of water. And by adding the water, we maintain our temperature by the aerator. The process that you're seeing is him infusing oxygen. But the most critical part of what he's doing is making a homogeneous mix. In other words, infusing and mixing everything equally. This has to be done periodically to maintain the oxygen level to keep the thermophilic bacteria under process. It's on the basis of being organic. Now, that's the key to it. So it's an all organic material that's made out of a waste product that used to go into landfills. So this is the end product. It goes either into bag or out to the general public. Goes to nurseries, landscapers, people of all sorts. They're using it in their gardens, lawn applications. This improves the quality of the soil. So we're doing the greatest service, if you will, by freeing up airspace in a landfill, but the backside product, which is all compost, goes back to the citizens for beneficial reuse. I think we all are sharing into the fact of trying to recycle as much waste that we can possibly can, do it in an environmentally friendly fashion, but I enjoy that. I love helping people, teach people how to do composting.
The Heritage Poultry Conservancy is all about preserving these great heritage birds that were a part of, well, the farm scene back in the 18th, 19th, early 20th centuries. Many of them have been threatened. Many of these breeds are beautiful and dual-purpose birds, but they're no longer useful in the industrial farm complex system. So what we try to do is preserve the genetics of these birds for a number of reasons. One reason is that these birds have strong genetics. So if anything happened to the flocks that are currently being raised for commercial purposes, we could go back to some of these heritage breeds and build back up a new genotype that could be used in the industrial farm complex. However, the main reason for having the Conservancy and giving out birds and awards is to promote kids and their involvement in raising poultry, and that's what this is about today. So these kids wrote essays about why they wanted certain birds and why they support heritage poultry. They're being rewarded today with birds, prize money, as well as some feed. You know, it's a lot of fun getting these kids started with some of these different breeds of birds, particularly some of these heritage breeds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to follow along now, check in with them and see how they're doing. Because you know what? This show will be back around in another year and they'll be showing some of them. We want to see how they do. You're doing great, Charlie. You know, I really enjoy being around people who are out there trying to make a difference in the world. It inspires all of us to get out there and do something, whether it's large or small. Until next time, for the Garden Home, I'm Alan Smith. Bill, this grass is really nice. I'm loving it. You're making me laugh. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's turn around here and get our picture back. Here we go.
Look at he's like going crazy.
they're like peppery. I'm gonna try to eat these in front of the camera. Okay. Go.